Hello everybody, how is it going? So, today, more of the championship. We have Zoro versus Sakazuki. Sakazuki opening 2 Borsalinos, a Sabo, a Hound's Blaze, and a Rebecca. And we'll probably see Zoro's hand in just a second. But it is pretty cool to see Zoro. I know that might sound weird, especially coming off last format, but Red has not been doing very well in this format in the OCG. Zoro having 2 Brooks, a Rush Zoro, a Radical Beam, and the new, I think it's the new Fire Fist. It like minuses 3 to something and then pops a 0 power card. But yeah, kind of cool to see Zoro. I feel like, I'm pretty sure this is the Straw Hat version, so it's very just like hold forward. So it might be pretty okay against Sakazuki, because you have your rush cards to kind of trade with removal. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, my bad for not uploading the past 2 days. Also, that's funny, they messed that up. But yeah, my work schedule's been kind of whack this week, so haven't had a ton of time, I guess. But happy to be making this video now. And Sakazuki just starting off by not even getting his Dawn and cycling his Sabo, and I can't quite see what he drew, but I'm sure we'll find out. Zoro also just passing turn 1, not seeing a Searcher. That's definitely not what you want to see as the Zoro player. To be fair, the 1-drops will probably get answered quite easily, but we don't really have a great play this turn, so he does opt to play the Brook, giving his leader 2 Dawn. Probably just give him the 3rd. Nope, just swinging 7. Yeah, it's probably not going to super matter, because Sakazuki does just take it, but might as well slam down the 3rd. You're not going to use that Radical Beam for a 2k, you want to use it for a 4k. And Sakazuki actually getting a Great Eruption trigger, forcing the Zoro to discard a card, which definitely is not the best for the Zoro player, but pretty good for Sakazuki. You probably know that Zoro isn't playing anything super high, probably nothing past maybe like a 5 cost, unless he's playing Newgate, but I don't think that's very normal. So getting rid of the Great Eruption just to trade for a card in hand doesn't sound like the worst, but Sakazuki's going to attack for 5, reducing the Brook by 1. Zoro will probably just take it. Asking how many cards he has in grave. He does have 3, so that means it can get Luchi'd, but it could have gotten Luchi'd regardless, so doesn't really matter. Picks up a Rush Luffy, which again will be pretty good in this matchup, getting around the blockers. Definitely not bad. Sakazuki playing down the Borsalino and passing it back. I think this game definitely has a very interesting end to it, if I remember correctly. I watched a little bit of it when it first happened, but yeah, happy to be making a video on it now. On his 5 Dawn turn, nothing really great to do, maybe outside of just playing the Zoro and just attacking for an amount. Yeah, he also is playing the Robin, the new Robin, which is, I feel like normally it's not an amazing card, but I think there are a lot of good red techs for the Sakazuki matchup with that Robin, with that Fire Fist, of just kind of letting you remove that Rebecca kind of for free, so that is pretty good. Zoro swinging 6k. Going to be met with a 2k counter. Tapping 3. Playing down the Rush Zoro. He could like attack 5 with Brook, 6 with Zoro, but it's probably best to just go for that 7k attack. You could maybe try to swing with the Brook first and just see if he takes the free block, because sometimes people don't like to, but it's probably just more correct to go 6 with leader, 7 with Zoro. Sakazuki going up to 6 Dawn this turn, gonna attack for 5. I would imagine at the Zoro, because why not? Could just out it for free here, because removal could also just get rid of it pretty easily. Also, Zoro probably doesn't want to drop any cards defending the Zoro. So he's gonna let it go. And this Brook might stick around another turn. Sakazuki's going to cycle the Kuzan, picks up, I think that's another Tashigi, okay. Looks like he's going to play down the brand new. Looking at top 3, sees a Hina and 2 Great Eruptions. Alright, so hit on all 3 of them. Okay, opposite trash the 2 Great Eruptions. Interesting, especially because I feel like you very kind of rarely hard play the Hina, but I guess next turn you can just cycle it anyway, so it's all good. Sakazuki getting down another Borsalino, which is definitely a very good card in this matchup for him. Getting around Red's removal spells, also just being a 6k blocker for 4 cost is very, very strong. But right now, Zoro does have the tools to just kind of chew through the blockers. Or not chew through them, but kind of just go straight through them with the 2 5-drop Luffys. I imagine he's probably also playing Diablo Jambe, which could be quite impactful. Zoro tapping 1, playing down the Nami. Let's see what he finds. So we see an Otama, a Buggy, a Makino, and a Sanji. So only one add target there, being the Sanji, so we'll take it. Kind of places it on board there. I don't think he's actually playing it, yeah. Just, I don't know. I don't know what he thought he was doing, but just got a bit confused, I guess. So this turn, Zoro could cash out the Brook swing, which I don't think would be the worst. He could play 5-drop Luffy. I don't think it's very good. So I imagine you just want to get the value on the Brook. Gonna play down another Brook, giving 2 Dawn to his leader and attacking for 7. So it's 4 Dawn left. So he could just go like 3 or 4 Dawn on the Brook, maybe leave 1 up for the beam. Not that you really need the beam for next turn. But I think, I don't know, because like playing the second Brook is a little bit odd to me, because it plays right into Lucci, right? If this is the turn you're gonna swing with your first Brook, it'll be rested, so it just gets cleared with the 5k, and then Lucci answers the other 2. So that is a little bit interesting, but maybe just didn't want to be super unproductive, I guess, this turn. But I feel like you almost just don't want to play that Brook. But yeah, it's all good. Gonna attack for 6 with the first Brook he played. It's gonna be met with the block and then a 1k counter. Tapping 2, playing the Sanji. Okay, I don't hate that. If you're gonna play the Sanji as well, try to go as wide as you can. Hopefully 1 body sticks, just for another easy attack. Sanji also could help just, taking your life and being very aggressive. But Sakazuki is now on, should be 8 Dawn by now. Sounds about right. Does have the Lucci, has a Rebecca, has the Hina that I learned just, if you have, I think it's 4 or less cards in hand, you just draw a card, which is pretty good. Brook will be cleared with the 5k, kind of reducing whatever. I don't think it really matters. I guess if you want to pop both the 2 costs, it does matter. So, probably reducing one of them. Gonna play down the Hina. And I think he is 4, right? Yep, so draws a card. What do you pick up? Oh, another Great Eruption. Okay. Cycling out the Hina for another Rebecca. Also, look, people are dropping cards. The curse has not been broken. Everyone drops them on stream. Playing down the Lucci. Probably shuffling back, the Great Eruptions. All 3 of them. Has the last one in hand, that's funny. And popping, 2 costs. So, I mean, Nami sticks around. Probably not the one you wanted to stick around the most, but it still does help you get an extra swing if you want to. Doesn't feel the best without a Makino, or I think it's Magra, right? Magra's the one that just boosts something on summon. So Zoro is now on 9 Dawn. Still does have 2 Rush Luffys, so he could try to just get through this last remaining life with those. I doubt Sakazuki will take a 6k hit from leader. That'd be the best case scenario for Zoro, though, if he just ate a 6k, then you're able to play a Luffy and just put him down to 0, and then hopefully next turn just go for game with your next Luffy. But we'll have to see how it goes. He is a 9 Dawn. He is triple making sure. But you definitely probably get down the Nami, just see what you find. See what your options are. Going 1 Dawn on leader, attacking 4/6. Will be met with a block and another 1k. So he could play Nami, see what he finds, and he'll still have 7 Dawn. So after that, I guess you could swing 9 with Luffy if you don't find anything you want to play with a Nami. See a Magra, a Buggy, a Zoro. I think that was that Radical Beam? He went kind of fast. I think that's Radical Beam. So you're probably just taking... Do you want the Radical Beam? Or just grab the Zoro? I think he's just thinking about it. I think you take the Radical Beam just because you have the 2 Luffys in hand. And like maybe for 1 turn you can defend it. But I don't think that would happen against Lucci. I think the Luffy would just get answered. So he grabs the Radical Beam regardless. And I imagine we're just playing that Luffy, trying to slowly take these life. Not necessarily slowly, but you know what I mean. We're chipping them down. So yep, you're going to tap 5, play down the Luffy, and probably just attack for 9, right? We can leave like a Dawn up for Radical Beam, but once again we're at 4 life, so I don't really see a point in that. Yeah, we're just swinging 9. And Sakazuki does take that hit, gets a Borsalino, and now he is on 10 Dawn. Not that I feel like, I'm not saying like him being at 10 Dawn isn't impactful. I just feel like, you know, a lot of other decks, they have the top end. You're like, oh, they just hit 10 Dawn, now I'm going to get 10 mommed, but Sakazuki doesn't have that, which is like kind of nice, but it also just means his earlier turns are usually very productive. But not saying his 10 Dawn turns aren't. With all the events he does play, he can, even if he has like, you know, the full board as he does now, it still is, yeah, he has a lot to do. So he's going to swing 6 at the Luffy. I kind of think, like, why don't you just let the Luffy go on the first swing and just force him to swing into your life? Because now I feel like we're just going minus cards because we opted to counter out of that. And yeah, the second one, he'll let it go. That just means Sakazuki doesn't have to swing with any, like, the rest of his board if he doesn't want to. So if we don't defend that, and he does just swing life, that could have been important. But here we are. We also could have still had the Robin, or still have had the Robin, which could have answered a Rebecca. But these Borsalinos have kind of just stuck since the turn they were played, so we might just never have an answer to those. Unless we get like a Jet Pistol out of life right here. We don't. Picks up a Magra though, which is great for the current board state, but we're pretty sure that these Namis are just going to get answered. And Sakazuki does do a cool play here, where he sacks off the the Lucci for the Rebecca, and then just adds back the card he just sacked off, and plays the Lucci. So that is a cool play. Good to know that you can do that. It makes sense though. He's going to put back some Borsalinos and one other card I didn't see. Pop both the Namis, and that's probably the turn. Zoro is now on 10 Dawn. So he'll probably get through this last life with the other Luffy, and then he really just needs another unblockable attack or something just to, you know, go for game. It's gonna be a little bit hard. Sorry about that, cut the audio for a sec. The other computer in the room was kind of going crazy. Zoro's gonna attack for 6, just gonna be blocked by the Rebecca. Plays down the Rush Luffy, gives him 2 Dawn, attacks for 9 again. Sakazuki will take that, and now he has 2 Radical Beams up for the next turn. Once again, they are not live, which is not the best. And countering the attacks on Luffy is probably just not worth it. You probably just want to go down to 0 and just hope that the cards in life give you either another Luffy, a Diablo Jambe, just some answer to these blockers that have just stuck around forever. It's hard though, because I mean, Red's main form of removal is just popping stuff, and Borsalino just says no. So, yeah. Also, maybe you get a pistol out of life, which could answer one of the Borsalinos, and then you just kind of have to use like the Zoro in hand to try to go for game. It's definitely rough, because I mean, you're bored as Zoro. Your little guys really don't get value in this matchup because they're just going to get answered by a Lucci. And yeah, it's definitely like tough, but I don't think the matchup is like, it doesn't look terrible. Like, yeah, it feels like Sakazuki has been in control a lot of it, but like even with kind of a rougher start with like them playing Brook turn 1 and stuff, Zoro's like, or turn 2 he's playing Brook, like Zoro's kind of like kept up, and it's pretty close. So kind of interesting to see. This turn, I imagine we're probably just gonna want to out this Luffy, but if you just check it with the 6, I think Zoro's just gonna let it go and just try to take some more of his life. Because realistically, I think Zoro knows he can't keep this Luffy around. It's just gonna get answered somehow, some way. So, Sakazuki attacking for 5, reducing the Luffy by 1. You probably just take this, right? Like, sure, I mean, taking a 5 against almost a full board is kind of scary, but your hand is 2 Radical Beams of 1k, and the other one doesn't have any counter, but still, that's like 9k worth of counter. Like, you should live if you take these 3 life just for, like, the baseline attacks. I guess Hound Blaze could make it a little bit harder, and he opts to 1k. I don't know, I feel like you take at least that life, see what it is, and, you know, turn on all your Radical Beams. And it also, like, could have potentially helped you save the Luffy, but again, like, I think we just accept that Luffy is going to get removed. Who knows, maybe I would have gotten punished if I took that 5, because then what, you deal with a 6 with the Lucci, you maybe take that too, and then like a 5 with the Hina, and like, you don't have to take that one, but you could, because then they have, what, 9 Dawn remaining, and that's 14 on Borsalino. We already can get to 14 with the counter in our hand, and then we just need a 1k off of life, which is pretty likely. I guess we need 2 1ks, because he could swing with the other Borsalino as well. So I don't know, it's pretty unlikely that you would die, but yeah, that's just what he decided to do. And yeah, boosting up the Hina with the Hound's Blaze after reducing the Luffy. Zoro will take that one. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, the Hound's Blaze is a little bit scary. Could have potentially been more than that, right? Because I think it's just, the first effect is just boost something up, and then you can bottom deck something. And I think he had 2 Hounds Blazed, so he'd be swinging for an extra 2k than he normally would be. So yeah, that probably threw off my math earlier. So maybe you do die if you just eat all the baseline hits. Don't listen to me. Goes 1 Dawn on the Lucci, attacks for 7. So now he has, how many Dawn left? 6 Dawn? You probably just take this too, right? Just pray you get something out of life. And he does, and he finds a Brook, which is really not doing much in this game state. And he's probably not going to get his last life, which is, you know, unfortunate. I guess if he just took that first 5, he would have got to seen it. But, I don't know, again, it's more risky doing that. I understand countering it, but I feel like you take that risk, because you know next turn, like, it's do or die now at this point, right? You just need to find something to cheese out, you know, around the blockers. So I think you just have to take that hit. Sakazuki tapping 3, playing another Hina. He does have 4 cards, so he'll get to draw 1. And he probably just passes. Don't think there's anything else he really wants to do. Yep. And now it is Zoro's turn. Let's see if he can find an answer. He does have the in 2 years, the Insaba Odi. I think that's what the card is called. So that could find a Rush Luffy. That could find a Nami, which could find a Rush Luffy. So it's just kind of up to that one search He could like hard play a Sanji and take his last life, which could find him something. But we're trying to use as little Dawn as possible, so if we find the Diablo Jambe or a Luffy, that it should just hopefully be game. We're gonna have to see though. Sakazuki does have 5 cards in hand. I think 2 of them aren't counter. He has a Tashigi. It's hard to see. Not gonna lie. We'll see though, we'll see. Yeah, you just need something to get around these Borsalinos. Because if not, he just guaranteed lives. So yep, tapping 1 for the in 2 years. Looking at top 5. Sees a Robin, a Nami. Takes the Nami. Does not see the Luffy. Plays down the Nami. Does he find it? Finds, yup, he does find the Luffy. So now it's just a matter of, does Sakazuki have the counter or not? So there's 8 Dawn left. So this Luffy is coming down for, once again, 9k, right? Yeah, another 9k. Going 1 on leader, attacking for 6. If you're Sakazuki, you definitely just block this and don't counter out, because you're going to need the counter. Oh, we can see his hand. He has a Tashigi, a Borsalino, and what are the other 2 cards? Damn, it was kind of hard to see. So yeah, playing down the Luffy, giving him 2 Dawn, attacking for 9. Okay, I think, yeah, he did have more than enough. Gives him 9k worth of counter. And that's pretty much just the game. I think, yeah, we get to see it here, which I thought was kind of rough. Yeah, I think that's the alt art of Zoro. So he did have another 2k worth of counter. But we'll get to see this. He attacks for 7 with the Hina. At life, Zoro will counter. Drops a Sanji and something else. Couldn't quite see. Goes. I mean, Sakazuki just has this, right? He has too many more swings. Is that even a way to say that? I don't know. But the 5 is countered out with the Brook. It goes 3 down on the other Hina, attacks for 7. Zoro will take that. And it's a Diablo Jambe. I thought that was so funny. When I was watching that, I'm like, man, should have just taken the 5k so you could see all your life. But yeah, that would have been game if he had that Diablo Jambe last turn. He's going to Hound's Blaze the Nami, boost up the Lucci, give him 2 Dawn, attack for 11. And that is the game. I thought it was pretty close. I thought that last little bit was funny. But again, taking that first 5k is a little bit risky because of Hound's Blaze, so I understand why he didn't. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.